they was telling me, I should just drop the beats. I should just stay off the motherfucker. I should keep my voice off. It wasn't nah, you get better now. I can't figure this out. Nah, it was none of that. It was fuck that. I hate your voice. I hate this fucking song. They tried to play me. They tried to play me. Turn off all that bitch and you bitches never listen. You wanted a million but them stars is a trillion. Need me some medallions so I can show my value. Sewing on my clothes, yeah, you should let me style you. And if you want some more of this, you can have some more, you bitch. Never had another plan. It's either this or die again. Not anymore, yeah, anything I'm fine with it. This was written in the stars, so I just take a ride with it. Son, I'm saying, can't be horny texting when the sun sets. I never get away with it. Pay attention, cause it's danger to mention, but I'm not afraid of it. No matter where you going, the path that lights away still glowing. Saying I was in my feelings, but just look how I be growing. I was getting nauseous, just thinking about a marsh pit. If I make it with some friends, I still go home alone.
White hate lives matter? Oh, white lives matter. Do they? All lives fucking matter, homie. I'm gonna tell you something. And you know why I say that? My grandmother's white, homie. Understand what I'm saying? I grew up in a fucking mixed family. So I love everybody, homie. Even though I grew up as a gangbanger, my family taught me this. That, oh man, just because you're black, you don't need... Listen, let me show you something. That's bullshit. If you want to stand up and make yourself something, you can do it
You got
anywhere.
no food in there, do you?
That's all I'm saying.
Just perseverance. Don't stop trying and put a lot of work into it. You know, you always hear the stories about Michael Jordan shooting all those free throws, and that's what it was like for me working on beats. I'm talking about up late nights and still having a job, still taking care of responsibilities, doing what you had to do as a man or, you know, as a woman, and still being able to take time out, take all your extra time out and put it towards your craft. You know, you can't just go to the movies and play basketball and do all these different things and still focus on that. If you're trying to break through, you gotta focus. Like, that's all you do. Like when I was working on Through the Wire video, other than what I had to do, that's all I was doing. And like now, I'm in that same situation with the Jesus Walks video. That's all I'm thinking about.
This is the interior spinner set. When we shoot the exterior of the spinner, none of this interior exists. This is strictly a set constructed for interior shooting of all of the readouts and all the detail on the exterior vehicles that you see driving around in the streets. None of this detail of interior is here. And one of the problems we have today is that on screens like this, where there will be readouts of movies, digital displays, maps, etc. for maneuvering the vehicle, it was just impossible because of the design of the vehicle to put in rear projection or live video screens or have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 12 or 13 screens of information going on simultaneously. So what we've done is we've just lit these screens with white light from inside, and the camera will be shooting over these actors' shoulders here, and the shot will be what we call locked off. It's a static shot. And we're going to have wind effects and rain effects on the canopy of the vehicle from outside, lighting from outside, and a lot of practical lighting from inside. And then what we do in post-production is superimpose into these screens a lot of little movies of the readouts, which will be made later. Outside the window, we'll pull matte lines off the edges of the window here and all around the side doors, and then superimpose the city outside, trying to keep a balance between the natural light on the window, the rain on the window, and the city outside the window. So it's a pretty complicated, this is one of the most complicated composite mats in the picture, because even the city outside will be a number of elements. It'll be the city, foreground miniatures, which are 1 inch to the foot scale. It'll be 1/2 inch to the foot scale miniatures beyond that, 1/4 inch to the foot scale miniatures beyond that, a painted backing beyond that, and then between you and it, maybe 6 or 8 other spinners all maneuvering that are all optically superimposed together. So the plate that'll be out the window here alone will probably consist of maybe a dozen film elements all composited together.
To me, marketing's about values. This is a very complicated world. It's a very noisy world. And we're not going to get a chance to get people to remember much about us. No company is. And so we have to be really clear on what we want them to know about us. Now, Apple, fortunately, is one of the 6 best brands in the whole world. Right up there with Nike, Disney, Coke, Sony. It is one of the greats of the greats, not just in this country, but all around the globe. And, but even a great brand needs investment and caring if it's going to retain its relevance and vitality. And the Apple brand has clearly suffered from neglect in this area in the last few years. And we need to bring it back. The way to do that is not to talk about speeds and feeds. It's not to talk about MIPS and megahertz. It's not to talk about why we're better than Windows. The dairy industry tried for 20 years to convince you that milk was good for you. It's a lie, but they tried anyway. And the sales were going like this. And then they tried Got Milk, and the sales are going like this. Got Milk doesn't even talk about the product. Matter of fact, it focuses on the absence of the product. But the best example of all, and one of the greatest jobs of marketing the universe has ever seen is Nike. Remember, Nike sells a commodity. They sell shoes. And yet, when you think of Nike, you feel something different than a shoe company. In their ads, as you know, they don't ever talk about the product. They don't ever tell you about their air soles and why they're better than Reebok's air soles. What does Nike do in their advertising? They honor great athletes and they honor great athletics. That's who they are. That's what they are about. Apple spends a fortune on advertising. You'd never know it. You'd never know it. So, when I got here, Apple just fired their agency. We were doing a competition with 23 agencies that, 4 years from now would have picked one. And we blew that up, and we hired Chiate, the ad agency that I was fortunate enough to work with years ago. We created some award-winning work, including the commercial voted the best ad ever made in 1984 by advertising professionals. And we started working about 8 weeks ago. And the question we asked was, our customers want to know who is Apple and what is it that we stand for? Where do we fit in this world? And what we're about isn't making boxes for people to get their jobs done, although we do that well. We do that better than almost anybody in some cases. But Apple's about something more than that. Apple, at the core, its core value, is that we believe that people with passion can change the world for the better.
What do you think of track 7?
It was okay. I don't know about the second one, though. Wasn't scary enough.
What do you mean scary? This wasn't scary enough?
You're not scary.
I'm pretty scary. I can be scary when I want to.
Try.
Totally scary. Only missed.
Won't you come with me and spend the night? Just a little thing for you and I. And if it's meant to be, then that's alright. It's the little things that get me high. Won't you come with me and spend the night? Just a little thing for you and I. And if it's meant to be, then that's alright.
so steady every day, every night.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I was.